Hello there, friends of Unity, Joy of Life. In 1986, I was a bridesmaid in a family wedding. And I arrived early to help with preparations and to help family members doing this and that, whatever needed to be done. And while I was there, I noticed something that has stayed with me ever since. There were two sets of aunts and uncles, and one aunt and uncle were extraordinarily wealthy, multi-millionaires. The wedding was going to be held at their historic waterfront mansion in Westchester, New York. It was breathtaking, just gorgeous. I loved it. I loved the architecture, the view. It was just, sheer opulence. But I noticed something. I didn't feel much happiness. Now, the other aunt and uncle, Aunt Mary and Uncle John, they lived in this modest cottage-like home, and that is where everyone naturally gathered. This is where people lingered, where laughter just filled the rooms, and I could feel happiness the moment that you would walk in the door. You could just feel it. So what's the difference? Now, to be clear, this isn't about wealth. I love wealth. I love money. I love refined things. I love beauty. I love success. I love opulence. I love being surrounded by nice things. There's nothing wrong with prosperity. My hand is up. I am all for wealth and prosperity. So the difference I noticed wasn't money. It was presence. I later learned that the wealthy aunt and uncle had spent years just working restlessly, always striving for more success, more status, more achievement, believing that happiness would come once there was enough. But there was never enough. Nannies raised the children, purchases bought they were just brief excitements, but nothing seemed to satisfy them for very long. They were restless. They were always reaching and rarely taking a moment to just savor, just to land and savor. Aunt Mary and Uncle John were different. They delighted in the small moments. They were church-going people with a tradition of Sunday dinners that brought family and friends together week after week. They celebrated the small wins and the big milestones alike. They expressed gratitude openly. They were present with one another. They weren't chasing happiness. They were living it. My friends, we spend so much of our lives chasing happiness. I'll be happy when I lose weight, or when I make more money, or when I'm more successful, or when they treat me better. Do you have a I'll be happy when scenario? I think we all do. Some of it's a little bit more subtle than others. But here's the quiet truth. When we chase happiness, we run away from it. Because chasing assumes that it lives somewhere else in the future, outside of us, that we don't have it yet. And while we're reaching for that imagined version of life out there, we miss the one that's unfolding in the right here, in the right now. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is a way of being. It's a way of living. It's how we meet this moment right now. It's in the people who love us. It's the people that call, the ones that text and show up and simply sit beside us, hold our hands, or it's in the simple pleasures. It's in the warmth of that first sip of maybe coffee or tea in the morning, or the sound of laughter down the hall. In my case, the sound of my husband bursting out in song, which he does quite often. Or maybe the way that the light shines through the window on the floor in the morning. It's in the ordinary. It's in the everyday, ordinary pleasures and experiences. And the ordinary is where life actually happens. Happiness isn't somewhere else. It's right here. And it's a choice, my friends. It's a choice. So here's something that I practice for myself. If you're in a place where you feel like, oh, I need to be happy, I just want to be happier, and you can't find it anywhere, I want you to do this one exercise. I want you to remember a time in your life that you felt so happy. Maybe it was a spiritual experience. Maybe it was a baby being born. Maybe it was, I don't know, think of something for yourself, but something that made you so happy. And as you think of that time, allow that memory to elevate you. Allow that memory to just radiate its energy throughout every part of your being. Just spread throughout your entire being. Let your body memorize that state. And then just silently say to yourself, I choose this state. I choose this frequency. And it's not as much about the memory as much as it is the energy and the frequency that energy brings. Not as a wish, but as a choice. You are choosing right here, right now. And here is why that matters. When you deliberately generate an elevated emotion, you aren't chasing happiness. It's really about returning to what is your natural state. So, you don't have to chase happiness. We just have to notice that it's already here. Well, until next time, I'm keeping the faith for you, my dear friend. God bless you.